What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I got a really good one for you, and I'm not just saying that. But before we jump into it, I want to just show you we're making some progress here. I just ordered the exhaust and the handlebars, brake cable, and the bearings for the neck. We're starting to close in. We're going to be coming up upon where basically it's just put everything together, and then it'll be ready to ride. So this is coming together really fast. I know it don't look like much here right now, but I have a lot of things in the works, a lot of things in the mail, and yeah, so this will be moving along here quickly. So stay tuned for that. Okay, well, first of all, just take a good look around, man. I got my shop all nice and cleaned up. Keep these projects working smoothly. You gotta have a clean shop. So anyway, if you guys are seeing the video that I just put out a day, you will know that I did indeed have a crash on the 350X. As you guys can see, nothing's damaged. I said my bars got bent, and I got a brand new set for it, so everything's all good. No damages. So I did talk about the gas cap in the video. See right down in there, the little titty that sticks up for the hose to slip on broke out, but no big deal, I got a new one. So anyway, without further ado, check it out. So if you guys have seen my videos, if you have not, stop right now, go watch the video where I first got this and I explained the importance and the meaning behind this three-wheeler. Do not watch the rest of this video without seeing it. Link in the description below. Check it out, then come back. I'll wait for you. Alright, so if you're here, that means you have either already seen that video or you just went and watched it. If you didn't, you're missing out. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so this three-wheeler right here is the very first three-wheeler that I ever had. I have some pictures and I showed them in the previous video that I talked about this when I first got it. So it's been a while since I made that video, so I'm not 100% sure what all I talked about in that video. I do know what I said, you know, that it was mine. I found it. I think I said how I found it, whatever. So I'm just going to do a brief, quick overview of what I had to do to make this three-wheeler a running, rideable unit. Okay, so number one, the frame was bent. You can watch that video. I straightened it using a bottle jack. As you can see right there, the front fender has some wear from when it wasn't straight. It was rubbing on there, and as you can see with it straight, you got plenty of clearance. So anyway, that was the first thing I did. Then I put inner tubes in the tires because they weren't, the only one holding there was that one right there. So I put brand new inner tube in the front in this one. And I think I'll probably put one in there eventually, but it's been holding there since the day I got it. So for now, we're just going to ride it like it is. Anyway, so first I did the frame. Next, I had the problem with the crankshaft. It had the keyway, and then on the right side of the keyway, it had been chipped away. Okay, so the material was gone. There was no physical way for the flywheel key to stay in its position, which would allow the flywheel to move around and it wouldn't run in time. So basically what I had to do, what I did was I had welded that tapered shaft on the end of the crank. Luckily the threads, all that stuff was fine, nothing hurt, just a chunk had been taken out. So I welded it, and what I did was I took two pennies, clamped them together, put them down in the slot because I still knew where the original keyway was because it still had the one side intact. So the two pennies was the width of the flywheel key. Put them down in there, welded up on this side. The reason I use pennies is copper. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but if you don't, the metal that comes out of the wire welder will not stick to copper. So it basically acted as a block that wouldn't allow the metal to fill the keyway. So anyway, welded it up, grinded it really smooth, got it all nice and neat, and I had the flywheel and the key off of this unit here to use as a gauge, because the previous owners had, once they realized that that had broke, they had taken this side apart and had lost my flywheel, the cage that bolts to the flywheel for the pull start, and of course the key. I mean, there's no way you keep track of that. So anyway, they had lost that stuff. Well, I collected it up, got it, and so I used this one as a test to make sure everything was going to work, because I figured, well, if I'm going to have to put a new crank in it, I might as well try to fix it the way it is. If it don't work, you're not out nothing, because all the parts I'd have to buy, I would have to buy regardless of if I was putting a new crank in it or if I was going to be able to work with what I got. So I welded that up, had the new key. I had to do some slight grinding on the keyway just to make it fit 100% perfect, and sure enough, wham, we got it. So at this point, still didn't know if it was going to run, but I at least knew the flywheel would fit with the key, and it was holding it, wasn't allowing it to turn. So once I got that completed, I decided, well, let's go ahead and order and get the parts I need. So I ordered a brand new point set, condenser, and I had to get the flywheel, of course, like I said, the cage for the pull start, and an exhaust. My original exhaust was rusted in half right on the bend outside of the motor here. So the flange and all that good stuff was still up in the motor, and the back half had rusted off. It's actually laying over here on the floor. I don't think you can see it. But anyway, so I got me a good, nice used exhaust from the same guy that I got the flywheel from. Really good guy. He helped me out a lot. So then my next task was to get the flange out of the motor and the two studs out. The one came right out fine, worked great. Next one, as luck has it, they snap off. So had a little bit of a challenge, man, with that, because got the broke piece out. Then I was able to get the flange off, and that I had to heat. Man, that was a job in itself. Got that out. Then I was put to test with the stud, because it had still been sticking out a little bit, kind of like what you see is still out right there. So it was out about a good, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, a little more. So it left a little bit of a bump there. So I started to drill it, and man, I didn't have very good drill bits. I was using some old titanium. I kept having to sharpen them, but after probably 2 hours work, I got it drilled, retapped it. Now we're in really good. So got the new bolts in there with some never sees. Hopefully I won't ever have to mess with that again. Anyway, so we started getting everything together, and I'm like, now is the moment of truth to see if it's gonna run. So luck would have it, I had to fight it a little bit, because it has been sitting for probably about 10 years since it has ran. And so I put a little bit of oil down the cylinder just to kind of get everything lubricated up in the top end. Put fresh gas in it, and I also had to clean this tank out because some kids had put a bunch of leaves and crap in there. So that was fun cleaning that out. But I cleaned that out, put some gas in it, and started to try to get it started. Well, the petcock there was leaking like a sieve, because all the rubber valves and stuff in there and O-rings had all shriveled up from not being exposed to anything for so long. So it was just dumping gas. So I decided, well, let's hold off on this, see if we can get the fire on starting fluid. So I was wearing myself out pulling it, and so what I started to do was I would just spray a little in the air box and then put it in gear and run with it down the driveway. So I started to get it to pop off, and I'm like, alright, it's going to go. So then I realized I was not getting fuel inside the carburetor. So I had to clean out the inlet needle. It was kind of stuck. The inside of the carb was really clean, but I think just from it sitting and get a little gummy, I cleaned it all out, fixed that, and sure enough, fired right up, runs great. So I'm going to do a little bit of a run time here for you. I'm going to start it up, and you guys can hear it. Purrs like a kitten, really quiet, and man, I am just ecstatic. So go ahead and flip the switch on, and there it is. So while I let it kind of idle here, as I said in that video, this flag right here was put on me when I was probably 5 or 6. And then this is my dad's old racing number from when he used to race three-wheelers. So when I was a kid, he put that on there because this one was missing the little number plate stock one that came with it. Don't die. But so put that back on just for nostalgia's sake, and here it is. Runs really nice. And as you can see, I have done nothing to it as far as cosmetics or anything, and I'm not going to because I want to keep it exactly how it was when I rode around on it as a kid. So guys, if you're interested in learning a little bit more, let me know down in the comments below. Tell me what you think. I'm pretty happy with this. It was kind of a special deal for me to even find my first three-wheeler, get it back, and let alone getting it running. So I'm just ecstatic about that. I'm gonna try. My dad thinks he has some home videos of me riding this when I was little, so I'm gonna try to find some of that and try to maybe somehow get it so I can upload it for you guys to check that out. So as always guys, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you want to keep up with all my three-wheeler shenanigans. Until next time, I'll see you.